Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California, where it is still slightly dark out. The sun is coming up. It's going to be a beautiful day out here, and I'm wishing you guys all a wonderful, blessed, highly favored day. And let's jump right into it. And so what happened yesterday, Powell, right while I was making the video, was basically saying, hey, we're going to achieve a soft landing in regards to inflation, saying, hey, don't worry, it's not going to get out of control. And yes, we did give away a Oculus headset. Congratulations, Paintsy, for winning that. And Mr. Paintsy is a good friend of mine out of Morocco, and that means he's not in this country. So instead of shipping him an Oculus headset, we're just going to go ahead and send him some cryptocurrency, and he was quite happy about that. So congratulations, Mr. Paintsy. And yeah, so again, big question, why are the markets rallying in the face of this war? And again, in very simple terms, the Fed now has an excuse to kick the can down the road, which is what I was saying from the very beginning when all the rate hikes talks was beginning to formulate. You know what? That guy, Mr. Powell, he likes to see the stock market rally, right? And he really does like to make the market rally. And when the Fed chair talks, well, markets start to rally, especially when, additionally, yesterday we had the labor report came out. And apparently a lot of people are getting jobs. Job numbers are going up quite nicely. So that is good for the economy. And couple that with him saying, hey, guess what? Markets, we're going to make this soft landing for inflation. And the stock market had a massive rally yesterday. And that's why I was kind of more on the bullish side and kind of holding some longs, despite we're just at the top side of the range. But I did want to bring up something here today, which I think is critically important. And that is the 3-day MACD cross to the upside. On the CMEs, we will have confirmation of the cross today in 7 hours and 50 minutes. And if that is confirmed, I'm going to look for a shot up to that $51,000, $52,000 level. And that is going to look very nice for a short-term rally in Bitcoin. But just besides that, I do want to talk about Bitcoin's price action on the shorter term time frames as well. And I will note this as well. If we do get the 3-day MACD, the 5-day MACD cross to the upside, which is nowhere near to be confirmed on CMEs, if that does want to cross to the upside, which we're not even close, but that would give me the opinion that instead of just hitting 52,000, we'd likely actually hit the full target on the 618 for the bull trap retracement, coming in at 55.5. So let's be keeping an eye on that as well. And what else? And keep in mind, these signals take, sometimes a week or two or months to play out. So definitely just a tertiary idea and something to be keeping an eye on if you'd like to. Okay, so what else are we going to talk about? Bitcoin's price action on the short-term time frame. So we'll also take a look at some of the underlying market dynamics. And really quick, I'm going to go ahead and adjust. Let's see, I'm going to take off the, what am I going to do here? I'm going to make the chart a little more legible here. And let's jump right into it here. So what do we have here? Let's pull up our hourly time frame. Or let's start out on a 4-hour here. And that was, the level we were looking to hold yesterday. And we said as long as we don't get any 4-hour closures below 42.3, looking for this move to continue onwards and upwards alongside Nasdaq, which had a nice rally yesterday. Nasdaq putting on the daily just completely backfilled that last red candle. And we are stretching it out, and I'm looking for Nasdaq to come up and tag at least, I'd say, the top side of the range here, somewhere around 15,000 bucks. Maybe a short stop here at 14.6 on the daily. But why is that? Well, we've got massive. Is it hidden or bullish or bearish divergence? The question is. And so what we are going to do is in our resource center on the Bitcoin Advisors website, which you can go here for free and check us out and check all our check out our Instagram, our YouTube, and our Facebook channel, and check out our Twitter. But in the resource center under resources, I am going to post a little. Not only do we have how to set up TradingView, right? But I'm going to post a video, a diagram on how to identify bullish and bearish divergence. So feel free to check that out. Probably going to be up here later today or tomorrow. But why is it so important to be able to identify bullish or bearish divergence? Well, what do we have here? We have a set of higher lows, 1, 2, 3 higher lows alongside, going back to here, we've got, let's see, how many? We've got 1, 2, 3 lower lows in RSI, and that would be confirmation for a shot up to the top side of the range. And so price is making higher lows, RSI is making lower lows. So that's hidden bullish divergence. That's what it is, hidden bullish divergence. And that'll typically get you a move up to the green 55 with 3 drives, if not the top side of the range in a more volatile market. And what else would I like to do on Nasdaq is just put on the fib retracement tool and see, here's where you'd be looking for the bull trap to catch the market, which we're coming into that right there. So if we do see resistance and just a closure, closure back below here on the daily at, I would say this level right here at 13,756, well, I would look for a little deeper retracement back down to the low there. And judge it from there. But I do like everything here. We've got our momentum indicator turning up. We've got bullish divergence as 2 lows, hidden bullish divergence as 2 more major lows are being put in. And what do you know? Volatility is starting to increase. So if you've been following along our channel, you know I've been talking about this for some time. Bitcoin almost trades 1-to-1 with Nasdaq. Except for it goes up more and it goes down more. So when Nasdaq is going up, typically you're going to see Bitcoin going up. When Nasdaq's going down, typically you're going to see Bitcoin going down. So it's not a guarantee, but until that trend is completely averted, right, and we have the decoupling everybody's talking about, I would expect the trend to remain your friend, right? Just let the trend be your friend. So that is enough said about Mr. Nasdaq. And Nasdaq has been the general of this market. So, essentially whatever Nasdaq does, S&P and Dow do on a lower scale. Okay. What else do we want to look at? The dollar has been shooting up like a little phoenix here. Not breaking above that 97.50 resistance there. And I would love to see the dollar come back down, but I don't see that happening. Why? Well, the Russian ruble is getting crushed. And it is a flight to safety for a lot of people. Bond yields are going down, so that means there's more demand for bonds. And yeah, that sets up the dollar to look very, very strong. Additionally, checking in on gold just real quick here. And what are we looking for on gold? Any kind of a weekly closure above 1917. And I am looking for the new all-time, not new all-time highs, but at least a test to 2,050 bucks, somewhere in that range. Probably a short stop there at, well, let's go wick to wick here, right? From this high to this low. yeah, that puts you right at the 1618. That is usually your first stop. Yeah, so gold looks bullish. Finally getting a little reprieve of some really long, boring price action for gold. And, you know, frankly, a move like this of 6% isn't very exciting for me either. So that's it for gold. Now let's take a look at some of the Bitcoin underlying market dynamics, such as the open interest, which, if you can see here, open interest is taking a major leg up, but not actually a slight leg down. So we're at 11.3 billion, but it is from what, 2 days ago on February 26th, no, about a week ago, as open interest came up from 9.6 billion to 11.3 billion. And keep in mind, that's a very important date there, February 26th. What happened to Bitcoin's price during that time? As open interest is going up, right? February 26th. Let's take a look. February 26th. Where did you go? There's, oh, what do you, oh. So February 26th was right here. So from February 26th to that high is about a 14% gainer. And so as open interest is going up, that means more people are putting positions on, leverage positions on. And what I would expect is that as open interest goes up and the trend is up, as we're putting in these higher lows, typically you're going to see price go in the direction of the trend, right? So we do want to establish that. And I would say, hey, we got our first higher high. We got our first higher low, you know, kind of two little higher lows right there. And now we're grinding up against the top side of the range. So again, you know, just some warning here on spot price action. We did get a tick below yesterday's low already. And that typically gives you a move down on the 9 exponential. So Bitcoin coming down to 42,000 is completely fine. But based on what the hourly is doing right now, let's see if that looks very likely. Does that look very likely? And we were talking yesterday, we said any kind of an hourly closure below 42.9 would probably get us that move down to 41.2, which would fill the gap on the CMEs. Right? So again, symbol for Bitcoin CMEs is BTC1 exclamation. Here we are Thursday coming in, and we're getting a bounce off the green 55, and Stokes are up. Volatility is low, and as volatility expands here, wherever range we break, I would suspect this is good enough to get the next big move, right? So an hourly closure back above 45.5, probably going to get a decent move. Where would the next target on an hourly time frame be? 46.930. Okay, and I do imagine that if people see that happen, well, people are going to jump on the side of that trend, and that probably gets extended pretty nicely. Now, to the downside, throwing on the fib retracement on the hourly time frame, that would give us a move right down to the purple 200. And you notice how this lines up perfectly. The 1618 is the first stop zone off the fib retracement, right? So I would suspect that, and I think some people are drawing this out like this. I personally am not a super big fan of drawing these little triangles. I believe this would be a horizontal triangle, not ascending, not descending, but one kind of in the middle. And the way you would draw this out probably is something like this. Could you call it? It doesn't look as good on CME, so let's look at it on spot. That just looks like a range to me. There's a range, there's a range, there's a range. And yeah, I would more call this a range. Forget about a triangle. Doesn't look like a triangle to me. But could you draw it something like that? Let's see. I don't want to take too much time trying to draw a triangle, but for kicks, no, it doesn't work out. Does not. Yeah, it would have been like this. So you would have been broken to the downside there. And something like, oh, now we're breaking to the upside, right? So that didn't work. Would that have worked? Let's see. And so how do you draw trend lines? You want to see 3 points of contact on the trend line. And that 3 touches creates a trend, okay? So would we have had those 3 touches? You would have had to draw it something like that. And, well, we didn't get any closures below except for right here. This was the fake out. I bet you a lot of people got screwed on that one. And that's why I was more saying, I had a level in right here saying, hey, look, if it breaks below there, then I'm going to look for that move down. More of a support and resistance type style. That's typically going to work out a little better, okay? But I do like that for a little fake out and a move back to the upside. But I would not do anything or make any major calls. And I would probably be more comfortable saying it's on a 4-hour, right? So on the 4-hour, let's just get rid of that line. And let's move this guy. Let's move this guy right up here and say any kind of a 4-hour closure above 45.5. And I am looking for the next. Actually, I'd raise it up to here. Get all those wicks out, right? By the time that happens, though, typically there's a big move in place, right? So you might miss out on 4 or 5 or 10%. Who knows? But that's alongside Nasdaq. We want to see Nasdaq putting in some major highs. But again, I think the big thing to watch was that 3-day MACD cross, which is going to be closing on CMEs here in the next 7 hours and 34 minutes. What else does CMEs look like on the weekly? Again, we've been talking about this. Any kind of a weekly closure. Any kind of a weekly closure. Let's see. Do we have it on CMEs? Yes, we do. So RSI making lower lows. 1, 2. That's 2 drives of divergence there. RSI is making hidden bullish divergence alongside spot doing the same thing. So any kind of a closure above last week. So CME is going to close tomorrow, which typically runs the market. Spot price will close on Sunday in 3 days and 10 hours. So we just want to see that closure above there, and that will confirm that hidden bullish divergence, and very, very likely at least gets a break over. And again, waiting for confirmation for a daily above 46,000 on spot price. As volatility is low, Stokes are crossing up, and we got divergence. This is a very, very nice setup. So I'll be keeping a very close on that and definitely waiting for that confirmation, right? Because, you know, we've been getting tests up to this region for some time now, and I still think there is a threat of a slight downside move. So I think that's going to wrap it up for Bitcoin today. I should give some downside targets as well. And if we get any kind of a daily closure back below this guy right here, which was our breakout wick right there at 40,308, then I would be looking for us to revisit the 36.8 level, a small bounce, and then probably continuation from there. But, you know, I don't think we're going to break 34,000 at this time. And we got volatility increasing. Stokes are up. We got no divergences. And do we have anything here? No, that's going back too far. All right, let's jump into some altcoins. So we looked at open interest. Let's just take a look real quick at the funding rates. They're inconsequential. It's just medial. So I would say that doesn't mean anything. And let's say the leverage ratio is leverage ticking back up. Yes. So after taking the biggest leg down in quite some time, leverage ticked up a little, ticked down a little. It's still very, very high. Okay, so a big move is coming. Big move. And what does the market like to do? It likes to do the opposite of what everybody thinks, right? And I think everybody yesterday was thinking that we were going to get a little sell-off, really, especially off that hourly closure. And what I do like here is that we are essentially getting, I would consider this almost, as long as we close green today, that I would consider probably a test of the 9 already. But if we close below yesterday's low, definitely coming down to the 9 at a minimum, maybe in the 21. And again, this is the point of the last Mohicans, right? This is our last line of defense in the sand. We want to make sure, bulls out there, let's defend that territory, or bears, let's break on through it. Break on through it to the other side, as they said. All right, what else? Everybody wants to look at Ethereum, being a bit of a laggard, kind of a similar chart here. First thing I see on the daily is we are getting held down by the green 55, getting a test of the 9 exponential. And where's my breakout level for Ethereum? Here's what I would say. And it kind of depends on whatever Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin starts rallying to the moon, I'm going to give a little more grease in the wheels for Ethereum. And I definitely think, let's see. Let's just for kicks, let's take a look at this on a Fibonacci retracement. So we're already above the 618, and then we're coming back to test it, right? So that's very typical. Next target here. So I would say any kind of a daily closure back above 3190 is going to get you that move up to the 618, probably a test back down. And then if Bitcoin wants to head up to 52,000, I could see Ethereum coming right up to this level, probably in this pocket around 4,000 bucks. But just to be safe, let's take a look at our weekly Fibonacci retracement. And where would the bull trap come in if Bitcoin wants to rally up to 52,000? Where would it come in? Where would the bull trap come in? Where do the bulls get trapped? They get trapped when they go long, right? And they think it's going to go up, and then the price gets shoved back down in their face. So where is the 618 in the 0.5 going wick to wick here? To be a little more exact, let's move those trend lines up perfectly. So again, on Ethereum, the bull trap would look something like this. We come up, we get to the 618, maybe get a little higher, then come back down. Hey, if we set in another higher low at the 382 or the 0.5, this guy right here, I'm looking for price action to move onwards and upwards over time. But the problem is, if we crack back down below this guy and we start closing below the 382 back at 31.8, that's our breakout area, coincidentally enough. And I would say, just like Bitcoin, right, we need to close the weekly, which we'll be closing in 3 days and 10 hours on Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, so any kind of a weekly closure above this guy right here. Let's take off my drawing tool. And I would say any kind of a closure above 288.4 is going to be very nice. Okay, Stokes are crossing up from a low level as well on the weekly. And yes, we do. We do have the same hidden bullish divergence. And pretty much you'll see all the charts are doing the same thing. We got weekly hidden bullish divergence on all charts, pretty much. Not everything, right? But the main ones we're going to be looking at today. So I'm going to be bullish on Ethereum. And so what's the difference in move, right? Like, should you be in Ethereum? Should you be in Bitcoin? I don't know what your trading style is. I don't know what you think. But if we get a move, all right, so let me redraw this to give us our target upon confirmation of Bitcoin getting back above 46,000 on a daily time frame. Here is the breakdown level right here at the 618. So oddly enough, how these numbers line up exactly at that 618. So if we confirm bullish divergence here over time, not the next day, but over the next week or two, I could see Ethereum getting up to 38.52. So what's the difference in move from today versus Bitcoin going to 52,000? So that is a 33% gainer on Ethereum from today. And Bitcoin, that would be up to 52,000. Oh, that's 55. Oh, yeah, see, it's a much smaller move. So if we get to 52,000, that's a 14% gainer on Bitcoin. So that is very typical that you see altcoins, stronger altcoins especially, they outperform Bitcoin when Bitcoin's rallying. But to the caveat to that is when Bitcoin is going down, right? Altcoins tend to outperform Bitcoin to the downside, right? So want to be careful there, want to have a strategy, something that you can be comfortable with and manage your risk and not freak out and have to sell and lose a bunch of money, right? But everything is looking very nicely set up there. How did the monthly close? Just like Bitcoin. And we are going to be confirming any kind of a monthly closure above this level as well, this pivot for Bitcoin. Oh, that's Bitcoin. Above 45,858. That will give us probably that move up to 52,000 at a minimum. Maybe even the top side of the range at 60,000. So, but that's only one drive of hidden bullish divergence on the monthly time frame, which is a very powerful signal. What else did I want to point out here? So Ethereum on the monthly. Again, it's been looking a bit weaker than Bitcoin as of late, but the monthly needs to close above, right at that pivot at 33.75, and that should give us a nice drive to the top side. I mean, it could get up to 42.55 based on the monthly there, but we'll see how volatile this market gets. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm just going to run through a couple altcoins real quick. Starting it off with Luna, which has been on an absolute tear. And again, these guys are going to do whatever Bitcoin does, but more, right? So Luna, there's my point of failure on a 4-hour time frame, and I'd be looking for moves down to about $78. Any kind of a 4-hour closure. Why don't we move it down to be conservative, right? Well, let's be conservative. Why be risky, right? But a 4-hour, and that's a pretty decent sized move, right? So any kind of a 4-hour closure below there and probably hitting down to that green 55, maybe even a bit lower. I think this one is, well, it could be. So let's take a look at confirmation on a daily. What am I looking for on a daily time frame? Just a closure above here. And we got a closing basis higher high yesterday. So, and you got all the momentum oscillators ticking up. Things are really looking nice there. And so, yeah, here's where I'd put it. A daily above 103. And this is going to be a really nice target. So if you do a Fibonacci retracement from the wick high to the wick low here. And I'm just going to throw this on my graph and we're going to watch it, right? So the next target, daily closure above there, is $139. And that would put Luna in a nice blue sky breakout. If you look at this guy, when it starts breaking out of the blue sky, right? This is the last time we broke the all-time high. In March 2020, well, that was the high in March 2021. We broke the high again in August 21, and it's been straight to the moon, right? So this is a cup and well, it looks like a cup and handle almost. But some people will give a target like this and say, boom. Any kind of a daily closure above there. I would say weekly closure, right? Probably gives you a move up to 160 and higher over time, right? But this thing's been pretty volatile alongside Bitcoin. It's going to do whatever Bitcoin does, but more. Next one on the board, Mr. Gala. Mr. Gala Games has been giving me a little frustration lately, as of late, but I still do like this one as a metaverse gaming type token. If you do want to have metaverse and gaming in your portfolio, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but what I can tell you is we got on a daily time frame, we got 2 lower lows confirmed, and an RSI. We've got from this point 2 higher lows. Yeah, so that when price is making lower lows and RSI is making higher lows, that is just classic bullish divergence. And that should get you a shot up to the top side of the range at about 35 cents, provided that we don't close the day below any of these lows right here. If we do close, I'd say point of failure is going to come in right there at about, let's see, on the 4 hour, we'd be looking for divergences. Yep, that's right there. Right there. On the 4 hour. And I could even move it down to this wick low right there. We are getting shafted right now, but this thing's going to wick around a lot. You know, it's going to be a very volatile asset, so I wouldn't really trust the shorter term time frames. I'd be more looking for dailies. And as long as the daily can hold itself up here alongside the rest of the market, it's going to look pretty good. What about Atom? Atom is on the daily. All we want to see is a daily closure back above 33 cents, and I am looking for a move to run up to about 39 cents, and on a macro consolidation similar to Luna. And this one has been one of the stronger performing altcoins, you know, for the past year. And this is Mr. Cosmos. Any kind of a daily closure back above this guy right here. And I am looking for the next target to get hit right around 59 bucks. And that would look, I mean, like an excellent move. And this is all provided that Bitcoin heads up towards 52 to 55,000. On the other side here, we've got Harmony One, another one that's been, you know, a great performer, a stronger coin over the past, you know, since December 2020. It's up thousands of %, I believe. Let's just show it. Wow, look at that. There was a straight wick right there. But if you want to measure this from February 1st, 2021, we got a 2,800% gain. Okay, to the downside right now, we are currently down from the high, 73%. And I'd be looking for the same thing on this guy right here. The same exact thing as Bitcoin. And I imagine if we get the confirmation on Bitcoin, we're going to get the confirmation on this guy. But what do we have here? Would I consider that a low? Nah, maybe not. Maybe this is the low to be looking at right here. Why is this not a confirmed low to me? Let's see. We didn't close back below this low on a weekly time frame. So this is kind of a in the middle of the road type deal. I mean, some could say this is a stop and reverse point, but more conservatively, you'd probably look, you know, for this low right here. So where would divergence be playing? Hidden bullish divergence be playing out? Well, from that region, right? So we're talking about July 19th. So let's check out our RSI right here. July 12th, close enough is close enough. And do we have 2 drives of hidden bullish divergence on Mr. Harmony One? Let's see. Yes, we do. 1, 2. So how would this be confirmed on a weekly time frame basis? Again, this will close in 3 days and 10 hours. That'll be closing anywhere above this green 55 at $16.62. How are we looking on the 4 hour on this guy? we got the green 55, sorry, yellow 21 crossing the green 55. We're holding it up on the 21. And I imagine as long as, Nasdaq's pulling back now. Nasdaq, don't do it to me. Keep on going. We want to see you rally up. We got 15 minutes on this 4-hour closure. All we're looking for is a closure above this guy. Should give us a shot to 15,509 as volatility is expanding. Stokes are up. Do we have any divergences? So RSI is putting in lower highs. And is price putting in higher highs? Let's see. So back from this point, yeah, that might be, well, it's not, yeah, we're higher there, so that's okay. We just ticked above this guy. So price is making higher highs. 1, 2, 3. Price is making higher highs, but RSI is making lower highs. So I would expect a short-term pullback at least down to the 21 here, or the green 55 on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see what the hourly is looking like. Hourly Stokes are crossed up, and any kind of a tick below this guy on the next tick, very, very likely. So again, identifying bullish and bearish divergence, right? Price is making higher highs, RSI is making lower highs, and that typically will get you a move down to that green 55 on the shorter term time frame. So yes, if we do confirm this as a high with any kind of a closure below here, I'm looking for probably a shot down on the bottom side of the range at 13,958 before it gets picked back up. More conservatively, 1406. Okay, Nasdaq, pick yourself back up, please. And what other metaverse coin I want to talk about? Mr. Sandbox, Mr. Sandman. This is another one that has been relatively strong when the market is strong, weak when the market is weak. And we do have 1, 2, 3 higher lows there, confirmed on a daily, and RSI is making 1, 2, 3 lower lows. So I am expecting this one to pick itself back up alongside Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin can pick itself up and make that rally back up to 45,000, excuse me, pick itself back up here and close back above 45.6, or call it 46,000, then yes, I'm looking for this market to pick itself up and move onwards and upwards. That's what I'm going to wrap it up with today. And so where's the target on Mr. Sandman? Any kind of a daily closure back above that guy. I'll throw on the fib. So daily closure above here. Next target is $5.44. And with these 3 drives on the daily, 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence, I would expect to move at least up to the green 55, and I'd be looking for the bear trap around the 618 and the 0.5. And again, I'm pulling this from this high to this low. Just for kicks, let's look at it on a weekly. What is the weekly telling us here? So the weekly wick high to the low, right? On a weak bounce, you get up to the 382. That's a weak bounce. So can we confirm, the question is, can we close a weekly time frame above that 382? We'll confirm those. Let's see, how many drives? Wow. Are we going to have that hidden bullish divergence? Yes, the same thing on the weekly time frame. So really, really, really badly today on CMEs, we want to see first a closure tomorrow, above the 9 exponential would look good. Okay. And that's coming in at 42,770. And then on Sunday, we're going to be looking for a closure anywhere above 40,500 to get those confirmations set in. So again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, we're not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. If you did enjoy the daily analysis, click the subscribe button and you will get reminded of all the future daily videos we put out and other resources we drop. Also, if you're interested in learning about incorporating Bitcoin and other cryptos into your IRA, there is a link in the description below. Thanks and have a blessed day.